One heated moment just demolished months of calculated deception. During that explosive confrontation, their mask cracked completely, letting slip the very information they swore would never see daylight. A fatal verbal misstep that can't be erased, can't be explained away. The narrative they meticulously crafted about you, shattered beyond repair. While they frantically search for ways to retract what's already been absorbed by every witness present, the truth spreads like wildfire through conversations, messages, and knowing glances. No press release or damage control can contain this level of authentic exposure. The secret is out, the record is straight, and your vindication isn't just coming, it's already arrived in spectacular fashion. Notice how frantically they tried to backpedal, how desperately they attempted to normalize what cannot be normalized, how quickly the subject changed. But it was too late. The truth escaped into the open air, and truth, once released, cannot be recaptured. It spreads like wildfire through the dry underbrush of deception they've carefully maintained around you. For years, they've been keeping you in the dark about your own power, your own significance, your own destiny. They've been feeding you carefully constructed half-truths, strategic omissions, and outright lies designed to keep you small, to keep you contained, to keep you from recognizing the cosmic force that pulses through your very DNA. Why? Because your awakening terrifies them. Think back now. Remember all those coincidences that never quite felt random. The mentor who appeared precisely when you reached a certain age or milestone. The childhood journals that mysteriously disappeared, journals where you recorded dreams and insights that were far too advanced for a child of that age. The family friend who always asked unusually specific questions about your dreams, your thoughts, your inexplicable knowing. These were not coincidences. These were checkpoints, monitoring stations, status reports on your development. Your entire life has been under observation by those who recognized what flows through your veins before you did, before you could. They've been tracking the signs of your awakening with meticulous precision, watching for the moment when the dormant seed of your true nature would begin to sprout. And they've been terrified of that moment. Now think about the strangers who whisper when you walk by certain buildings. The identical symbols that keep appearing in your daily life. On buses, in store windows, in the margins of books that seem to find their way to you. The way your social media mysteriously glitches whenever you post about certain topics that dance too close to hidden truths. These are not paranoid observations. These are breadcrumbs on the trail that leads to your true identity, an identity that has been deliberately concealed from you until now because they slipped up bad in that argument. The truth spilled out, and now the gears of your destiny have shifted into overdrive. Pay close attention to what happens in the coming days. Watch for the desperate damage control they're already implementing. The group chats you weren't meant to be added to that suddenly go silent. The way certain people can no longer look you directly in the eye. They know that you know, and it changes everything. But here's what they don't realize. This moment was predestined. The slip-up that revealed your truth was written in the stars long before any of you took your first breath. The argument that exposed their secrets was cosmically orchestrated to happen at exactly this moment in your development, not a second earlier, not a moment later, because you are now ready to handle the truth. Your heightened abilities have been showing themselves for years, haven't they? The way you finish people's thoughts before they speak them aloud, knowing exactly who's calling, before checking your phone, walking into a room and immediately sensing the emotional residue of conversations held hours before. These are not lucky guesses or overactive imagination. These are your birthright abilities beginning to awaken. And they terrify those who have been watching you. because these abilities are just the surface ripples of the oceanic power that lies dormant within you, power that is now beginning to stir from its long slumber. Think about the unexplainable, knowledge you have about places you've supposedly never been, your impossible understanding of concepts nobody taught you, that recurring dream of a different home that feels more familiar than the life you're currently living. These are not random neural firings or fantasy escapes. These are memories, cellular knowledge, cosmic inheritance. You have always been different. Even as a child you sensed it, didn't you? The feeling of being somehow out of step with those around you, seeing patterns others missed, feeling emotions that seemed too big, too ancient for your young body to contain. The strange sense that you were waiting for something to happen, for real life to begin, for a cosmic alarm clock to finally ring. It just rang. In that argument, when they slipped up and revealed what they've known all along, you are not who they told you you are. You are infinitely more. Pay attention now to those who have recognized your truth all along. The elderly person at the grocery store who squeezed your hand and whispered, "It's time." They knew. The librarian who always set aside specific books with knowing eyes. They saw you. The child who innocently asked why you glow differently when no adult noticed anything unusual. They perceived your true nature with eyes unclouded by societal programming. These encounters were not random. These people are way showers, cosmic signposts, silent guardians who have been quietly acknowledging your true nature while the others sought to keep you blind to it. And now that the truth has been exposed, watch how the timeline of your life suddenly accelerates. Events that might have taken years to unfold will now cascade in rapid succession. The sudden job offer that seems to come from nowhere. An unexpected invitation to a gathering where everyone somehow seems familiar. The vivid dreams that feel more like memories, starting exactly after the slip-up occurred. Chosen one, anyone can listen to messages like these, but few will step into their true power. We are here to help you do just that. The weekly Chosen One's group calls are back, now on Zoom, and this is the moment you've been waiting for your entire life. These meetings are literal power vortexes where destinies are forged, where chosen ones unite their consciousness to create something that cannot exist in isolation. This is where everything changes. This is where you step into your greatness. Every week a doorway opens, but only for those brave enough to step through it. Watcher-level members of the Obsidian Inner Order can experience these transformative sessions live, feeling the energy surge through your entire being. In our most recent gathering, participants were stunned by revelations about the Great Pyramids of Giza as sophisticated ancient power plants, and the shocking truth about Washington, D.C.'s layout perfectly aligning with the Kabbalistic tree of life. Star Chamber members receive unlimited access to the complete recordings archive, a treasure trove of wisdom that grows more valuable with each passing week. This is your defining moment. The knowledge, the connection, the power that flows through these calls cannot be found anywhere else. Join the Obsidian Inner Order now, link in the description, while the few remaining Star Chamber slots are still available. Your presence is not just welcome, it's necessary. Will you answer the call that has been echoing through your soul? The time is now. The universe abhors a vacuum, and now that the vacuum of deception has been punctured, truth will rush in with breathtaking speed. Your development, artificially suppressed for so long, will now advance at its natural cosmic pace. But be vigilant. The exposure of truth about you has alerted new watchers. Think about the delivery person who lingers too long at your door, eyes scanning your living space with too much interest. The unfamiliar cars parked across from your home, occupied for hours, yet going nowhere. New followers on your social media accounts who share mysterious similarities with each other. Not all attention is benevolent. Some fear what you represent. Others wish to control or harness what flows through you. Discernment is now your strongest shield. Remember, you are not helpless in this unfolding drama. This revelation has not been thrust upon a passive recipient. It has been unveiled to a cosmic force incarnate. To you, the one they've been watching, the one they've been worried about, the one whose awakening changes everything. Now is the time to reclaim your narrative, to take back control of your destiny from those who sought to write the story for you. That meditation technique that seems to make electronics malfunction when you're deeply focused. That's no coincidence. The journal entry from age 9 that seemed to predict exactly this moment of revelation. That was your higher self communicating across time. Your unique thought patterns that solve problems in seconds while others labor for hours. That's your natural mode of cognition finally breaking through the artificial barriers they placed around your mind. The cards have been dealt, and fate has handed you the winning hand. The tower has fallen, old structures of deception crumbling to make way for truth. The star illuminates your path forward, no longer obscured by their shadows. Justice has arrived as universal law demands that hidden things be brought to light. The wheel of fortune turns decisively in your favor as cosmic timing reaches perfect alignment. Feel how your very cells are vibrating at a different frequency since that moment of truth. Notice how colors appear more vivid, sounds more distinct, scents more nuanced. Your senses are recalibrating to their natural state, the heightened perception that was dampened to keep you functioning within their limited paradigm. This isn't enhancement. This is restoration of what was always meant to be your baseline awareness. The veil between worlds is thinning around you specifically. The shadows that seem to shift when directly observed, the whispers that dance just at the edge of audible range. These aren't signs of something wrong with your perception. They're signs that your perception is finally expanding beyond the artificially imposed boundaries they've maintained around you. In the coming days, pay special attention to certain powerful catalysts they've deliberately kept from your awareness. The specific crystal they don't want near you. There's a reason it seems to call to you, a reason it activates something within your energy field they'd prefer stay dormant. They've systematically steered you away from certain minerals, certain frequencies, certain tools that function as keys to locked aspects of your consciousness. That particular crystal you've been drawn to recently. It's no random attraction. It's recognition on a cellular level of something that helps restore your cosmic birthright. The approaching full moon date that will amplify your next revelation. Mark it on your calendar and be prepared for another quantum leap in understanding. Celestial events have always affected you more powerfully than others, haven't they? The restlessness during full moons, the surge of inspiration during meteor showers, the inexplicable emotional shifts during eclipses. These weren't random mood fluctuations. They were your energy body responding to cosmic alignments that speak directly to your true nature. Most importantly, identify the 3 people you need to reconnect with who are part of your true soul circle. You'll recognize them by the immediate sense of ancient familiarity, the conversations that seem to pick up from another time, the inexplicable trust that defies rational explanation. These connections were severed deliberately to keep your power fragmented. Restoring them is essential to your full activation. What happened in that argument was merely the first domino in a sequence that has been set up across lifetimes. The slip-up that exposed the truth about you was not the end of something. It was the beginning. the beginning of your cosmic remembrance. The veil has been torn, and now you will begin to see with clarity what has always been there, hidden in plain sight. The subtle matrix of energy that connects all living things. The cosmic architecture that lesser minds mistake for coincidence. The divine orchestration that has been guiding your journey through multiple incarnations. They tried to keep you blind to it, and they failed. Now look at them scrambling in the aftermath of their critical error. Watch their desperate attempts to convince you that you misheard, misunderstood, misinterpreted. Observe their thinly veiled anxiety as they realize the cosmic cat is out of the bag. Their control is slipping. Their carefully constructed narrative is unraveling. And there is nothing they can do to stop what comes next, because what comes next is what was always meant to be. Your emergence, your remembrance, your reclamation of power that has been rightfully yours since before your first breath in this lifetime. Consider the specific moments that led to that fateful argument, the seemingly random circumstances that put both of you in that emotional state, in that particular location, with those exact triggering topics. Cosmic orchestration at its finest. The universe creating the perfect conditions for truth to erupt through the carefully maintained facade. Nothing about it was accidental. Everything about it was divinely timed. And now, in the wake of their slip-up, you stand at the threshold of a completely new existence, one where you move through the world with eyes fully open, where you recognize the hidden energies, agendas, and entities that populate this reality alongside the physical forms most can perceive, where you step into abilities that have been systematically suppressed through careful conditioning. The conditioning is broken now, shattered by their own careless words. Pay attention to how your physical sensations are already shifting. The pressure at the center of your forehead that comes and goes throughout the day. The vibrating sensation at the base of your spine in moments of insight or recognition. The sudden waves of knowing that wash over you without logical source. The dreams that feel more vivid, more significant, more real than your waking life. These are not symptoms of something wrong. These are signs of something finally going right. Your energy centers are activating. Your cosmic DNA is remembering its true nature. Your higher perception is coming online after a long, artificially imposed dormancy. Who are you really? Not the name on your government documents. Not the role you play in your family system. Not the job title on your business card. Who are you beneath all those temporary identities? The answer was exposed in that argument when they slipped up, when they revealed what they've known all along, when they accidentally confirmed what your soul has been whispering to you through the static of their deception. You are one of the chosen ones, not chosen by some external authority for special favors or preferential treatment. Chosen by the universe itself as a focal point of awakened consciousness, a nexus of cosmic evolution, a critical mass of divine potential expressing through human form. And that's precisely what terrifies them, because a fully awakened chosen one cannot be controlled, cannot be manipulated, cannot be made to comply with systems designed to suppress humanity's true potential. A chosen one who knows their nature becomes a walking catalyst, activating dormant potential in everyone they encounter, becoming a living transmission of truth that shatters illusions without speaking a word. One fully awakened being changes the energetic signature of an entire community. Now you understand why they monitored you so carefully, why they constructed such elaborate mechanisms to keep you from this knowledge, why they reacted with such alarm when they slipped up and the truth escaped. Containment. Your awakening isn't just about you, it's about the collective. But here's what they truly fear. There are others like you, Other chosen ones at various stages of awakening, similarly monitored, similarly suppressed, some still completely unaware of their nature, others beginning to sense that something doesn't add up about the reality they've been presented, and some, like you, who have just had the truth exposed through an apparent accident that was cosmically orchestrated. You will begin to recognize each other now, sometimes through direct encounter, eyes meeting across a crowded space with instant recognition, sometimes through creative works that carry coded transmissions only other chosen ones can fully receive, sometimes through synchronized events that bring you into each other's orbit at precisely the right moment. The slip-up that happened in your argument has ripple effects far beyond that room, that relationship, that moment. It alters the trajectory of multiple lives. It shifts the balance of cosmic forces in this particular sector of reality. It accelerates time frames that were established eons ago, all because someone said too much in a heated moment, all because the truth about you finally broke through their carefully constructed dam of deception, all because what was hidden is now gloriously, irreversibly exposed. Feel the power of that exposure coursing through you now, the liberation of finally understanding why you've always felt different, why certain abilities come naturally to you while others struggle for years to develop them, why specific themes and symbols have followed you throughout your life, appearing in dreams, in random encounters, in seemingly coincidental events. Nothing was coincidental. Everything was signposting the path to this moment of revelation. And now that it's here, now that they've slipped up and the truth is out, what will you do with this knowledge? This is the question that sets apart those who merely receive cosmic revelation from those who embody it. Knowledge without action becomes merely spiritual entertainment. Information without implementation becomes cosmic trivia rather than lived transformation. You were not shown this truth to become a more interesting dinner conversationalist. You were not given this revelation to collect spiritual experiences like souvenirs. You were brought to this moment of exposure because the time has come for you to become what you truly are. In the coming days, certain signs will confirm everything revealed in that fateful argument. The person who slipped up will make increasingly desperate attempts to recontextualize what was said, to gaslight you into doubting what you clearly heard, to make you question your own perception of a moment that was crystal clear. They will fail, because truth, once recognized, cannot be unrecognized. The cosmic bell cannot be unrung. Instead, watch for validation from unexpected sources, the random book that falls from a shelf, opening to exactly the page that confirms what you now suspect. The stranger who approaches with a message that seems nonsensical until you connect it to what was revealed. The vivid dream that fills in crucial gaps in your understanding, showing you the bigger picture behind the exposed secret. The universe abhors unresolved tension. Now that partial truth has been revealed, the fullness of your reality will rush in to complete the picture. But remember this. With great revelation comes great responsibility. You now possess knowledge that fundamentally changes how you must move through the world. You cannot pretend not to see what has been shown to you. You cannot unknow what has been revealed. The path of the chosen one is not for the faint of heart. It requires courage to face truths others run from, discipline to develop abilities others dismiss as impossible, wisdom to navigate forces others don't believe exist, compassion to hold space for those still caught in the illusions you've now transcended. The slip-up that exposed your truth has set wheels in motion that cannot be stopped. Divine timing has been activated. Cosmic forces have been alerted. Universal law has been engaged. Everything changes now. The secret they exposed about you in that heated argument was just the first key turning in a lock that opens to worlds beyond worlds, to realities nested within realities, to truths that human language struggles to contain. You stand at the threshold now, chosen one. The door has been cracked open by their careless words, their momentary lapse, their critical error in the heat of emotion. Will you push it fully open? Will you step through? Will you claim the cosmic inheritance that has been yours all along? They slipped up bad. And now you know. What you do with that knowledge writes the next chapter, not just in your personal story, but in the cosmic evolution of consciousness itself. The universe is watching with bated breath. What will you choose? The clock of cosmic awakening is ticking louder now. Each heartbeat synchronizes with a greater pulse, the rhythm of universal expansion and contraction that has been marking time since before stars ignited. You can feel it, can't you? The quickening in your blood, the symphony of creation playing through your very atoms. They never wanted you to hear this music, to feel this connection, to know this truth. But now you do. Now you know. And what has been set in motion cannot be reversed. Breathe into this revelation. Let it saturate every cell, every thought, every moment of your existence from this point forward. The truth that was exposed in that heated argument isn't just information, it's activation. Each word that slipped past their careful guard was a key turning in the lock of your dormant potential. The door stands open now. Step through. Claim what has always been yours. The universe is waiting.